Hey guys, welcome to this week's recap of the Real Housewives Girls Trip Thailand, episode 4, Dangerous Games. And guys, we're back to the weekly recaps. We've been spoiled before with 3, now we're getting them one by one each week. So in today's episode, it is Portia's day. So Pepsi gets the girls up and ready for Portia's day, and they're going to do a Thai barbecue lunch. And I'm excited for that because I never seen a Thai barbecue lunch. I'm so curious to what it gives. Okay, what's gonna give? What's gonna go down? Okay, so Candace, she checks on her new best friend Leah, and it's Leah who is her new best friend because out of all the girls in the trip, she was able to at least bond and create an alliance with Leah. So they go and talk and they refer to Giselle as a bully. And I thought that was kind of odd given that in the previous episode, remember, she was hesitant to use the word bully in referring to Giselle. And I don't like how these housewives make it a habit to just call someone they're having issues with a bully. I feel like, these girls, any girl that ends up being casted for the housewives, they have strong opinions and they let them be known. So you better be able to stand on your own 2 feet and defend yourself. And I don't think, in this case that this is a situation that Giselle is a bully. And if you feel like Giselle is a bully or Portia is a bully, then stop trying to be friends with these girls. Make sure you're not the one to be messed with. Make yourself big, So Candace, she feels like the housewives are like soap operas, and I agree completely. I feel like it's the same routine, the same gimmick, but we all act surprised and we eat it up. That's why you can't really call these girls a bully, because it's all for show. They have to be theatrical about it. And I enjoyed the productions team edit in this scene because we have a moment where the girls, they pretend they're doing a promo or the intro to a soap opera, and I thought it was giving. Some of them have to work on their routines, on their spin and their turns, because you have to be so theatrical when you're portraying soap opera, when you're giving soap opera fantasy tease, okay? So it is breakfast time, and Heather, she breaks the ice and checks in on Leah and asks if she had everything resolved, if everything's good, if everything's okay. Leah's face says, why are you asking me this kind of question? She says she's fine, but really, she's not the root of the issue going on. If anything, Heather, you're the one with the problem. You're the one with the issue. The cousins have a beef, and we've seen this beef portrayed in every single episode. So Heather, really, Leah should ask you that question if you have everything resolved. So Heather said that she can forget and move on. She dusted under the rug and is able to push through. Because, come on, they're on a trip. The girls want to have fun. Do you guys really want to discuss about your problems? Is this really the moment? Come on. So the thing is, Whitney told Leah to be careful of Heather. And Heather is so annoyed about that. I'm kind of annoyed about that because who's afraid of Heather? Why would you be afraid of Heather? I don't think Leah is afraid of Heather. I think Leah, as much aggravation she gives, she could stand on her own too and not be bothered by Heather. We've seen that already. So why does Heather need a warning? A warning sign plastered on her. And why does Leah need to be made aware of that? Come on, Whitney. Sometimes I'm confused with Whitney. I don't know if I want to like her or not, but So anyway, since it's raining, the plans are being changed to massages and games, and I'm like, dang. I was super excited to see the Thailand barbecue, to see what it gives, because I get so excited when they say, okay, they're going to dinner because I want to see the foods. What's the food's going to look like, if the food is going to be fooding. So I was a little bit down about that. But later in the episode, we do get a barbecue. So I was excited for that. I'll tell you my thoughts when we get there. So missing in this whole breakfast situation is Candace and Whitney, okay? Whitney is in her room and she's having a FaceTime chat with Lisa Barlow. So remember, guys, I'm not too familiar with the Salt Lake City girls. So I'm like assessing the situation, and pretty much what I assess is that this little girl chat can either help the situation or is gonna activate the situation. So I learned pretty quickly that this was a moment for activation. Okay, so Whitney feels that she is no longer required to be loyal to Heather for bringing her on this show. So the thing is that, Heather has the girls convinced that Whitney is a liar. We all see the situation. Right now, it's not looking good for Whitney. But with this talk with Lisa Barlow, who's obviously there, made it apparent that she's there to activate Whitney, to not back down, to not quiver towards Heather, that Whitney, she now is ready to take on this battle. And you're going to see Whitney get a little activated. That ending scene with Whitney, I was gagged. I was not expecting it, but we'll get to that point. Okay, so we're getting to that moment. So jump scene to the conversation with Portia and Heather. Portia, she caught on the detail of Heather never trying to take her name off the list. So you see Portia literally turn her head sideways at Heather, saying like pretty much girl. And Heather feels like she's not actively supporting the Mormon church, but low-key she is passively supporting the Mormon church. And when there's a lack of action isn't action. So let's not act like by her not doing anything doesn't offer any significance to the situation. So Heather, you're not off the hook. I see you really good with your words, but I can see now Whitney, has a room and opportunity to kind of clear up the situation in favor of herself. Because right now, we don't know who to trust. Because right now, I don't know who to trust. Because right now, these girls are both iffy. So jump scene, Lisa Barlow reassures Whitney and pushes her to continue to speak her truth. And I'm like, dang, Whitney is activated. So we will stay tuned to the Whitney versus Heather situation because we know it's not over. And I'm like, this is supposed to be a vacation. This is supposed to be time filled with relaxation and tranquility. But now we got the crazy cousins that are on a ticking time bomb, and we are here to watch as viewers. Oh my gosh. So in Leah's confessional, Leo has a confessional, and she's trying to say that she's having a good time, like she's in this moment. And I'm like, girl, we do not believe that you're having a good time. So Leah, this was her moment for Leah to up Candace. She says how she has a great bond with Candace, especially because Candace stood up for her. But I feel like Leah don't need no one to stand up for her. Like, you good, Leah. You got this. But it's nice, of course. I can understand that it's nice to have someone to stand up for you. But for her, it seems like she doesn't want to be there. And I can understand. You could see she's not meshing well with the other girls. Like, she had an issue with Heather. She's getting in between the drama with Heather and Whitney. Is she getting along with the Miami girl? Oh, she has an issue with Marisol. Leah has an issue with Marisol, which means that you have an issue with Alexia. Even though Alexia, she could play, neutral. But some of the things Leah said to Marisol was out of line. Like, I could understand Alexia siding with Marisol with this one. So who else? And Portia, of course. Portia said to Leah, if you want to go, like, obviously these girls don't see it for you. So only by default, Candace is your new bestie. By default. And Giselle too. Giselle didn't see it for her either. So I can see, like, given the people who are on this trip, Leah, I feel like it would be reasonable and we would believe you if you said that you're not having a good time on this trip. The girls don't see it for me. But Candace, she's making this situation a little bit better. That would have been believable, okay? We would have received that. So it's time for the massages. And Thank you. These girls needed an orgasm. Like, they look like they were building up some tension. You know, they're out away from their men. So they needed this moment. But sheesh, it got a little bit of awkwardness with Giselle in her confessional when she made a statement that, oh, Thai people want to massage your kitty cat. I'm like, girl, not you coming for the people of Thailand with these outlandish comments. Like, especially given what you said about Chris. I don't need you to say this and it be a seed that is plant, that is a setup for the bull, you know? Not a setup for the bull, okay? So I didn't like that from Giselle. And I think Giselle needs to be more aware or see herself when she says things out there that can be skewed another way. Like, not you coming from our Thailand people. Not you coming from the people that's hosting you, making your trip feel comfortable. No, girl, stop. So Heather is sitting with Giselle, and Heather decides, oh, this is a good time. I'm with Giselle. Let me call Jen Shaw. So, of course, Giselle is here for that. And she is so messy. She is so here for that. She's like, go ahead, call her. And I'm here waiting for Jen Shaw to pick up. And I'm like, Jen Shaw, you need to pick up. But she doesn't pick up. And I'm like, ugh. That would have been a moment. For sure. So these girls are outside and it's time for the barbecue. And I'm excited because I get to see a Thai barbecue. But the girls are not feeling it. And honestly, I'm not feeling it either because the girls have to cook their own food for themselves. I'm a little pampered princess. And a little pampered princess is not out here cooking food for herself on vacation. We don't do that. If I had a choice for Airbnb and a hotel, best believe I'm going to the hotel and I'm ordering in room service. I'm not cooking, fixing no meals on vacation in Thailand. No. So I was not feeling it either. I was not excited. And we didn't get really much of a scene of all the foods. We saw it all like on plates, but I really didn't see anything because it wasn't cooked. It wasn't cooked for me, guys. So Candace and Portia, they bond over the food and labias. I thought they had a cute little moment, and I'm like, okay, Candace, you see, this is what I find a contradiction with you. When you try to bond with these girls, but you don't really see it for these girls, so why you put yourself in that moment? I don't know. I don't get it. So Candace talks to Portia in front of the whole table, y'all, okay? And I honestly think if you're trying to make things work with somebody, maybe a one-to-one would have been better, and then bring it to the group. But no, Candace, she wants to talk in front of the whole group, and she's already crying, and Portia is like, dang. And you see, this kind of gives optics of bully, because you have Portia with the big booty talking to little old Candace who's crying. So Portia have to be very cautious of how she comes across, okay? So Candace, of course, she's already crying, and she brings up, and I love how she dabbed the tears that were rolling close to her cheek, but not at her cheek, okay? I love that. Was a cute little moment. So she brings up the physical altercation with Monique, okay? And she brings up how the media ripped her apart. They were going in on Candace. And on top of that, you have Portia, who goes on Chat Room, which was her show that she had on Bravo with Giselle and them. And Portia said that Candace was suing Monique for a down payment on her house. Okay, and at this time, mind you, Portia and Candace did not know each other. And Candace felt like, Candace, she uses the words messy and she uses the word defamatory. Now, when you hear a girly using defamatory or slander, that's a reference to Miami. If you guys didn't know, now you know. You think to yourself, is she looking to sue? Is this girlie looking to sue and catch me saying something on camera? And Portia immediately she says that what she knew was facts was coming from her friend. So Candace did not sue Monique, and she did not need any money for a down payment on her home. Okay, she clears that up. The thing is, Giselle did defend Candace on that platform when Portia was going in on Candace. But Candace dismisses that completely, which is a bit unfair. But I can understand that she was not here for it because she felt like, when you have a show and you guys know you're discussing topics, you could have got a statement from your girl Candace to say what she thought of the situation or what she has to say about the situation. So Candace, she feels like she should have been able to give a statement, given that these two girls were talking about her and they knew they were going to talk about her. So Giselle has defended Candace at the chat room, at the 7-Eleven, and even at the Whole Foods, y'all. And when you go to Whole Foods, you have to have a game plan. You have to get strategy. Whole Foods typically pack, so ain't no time to be talking to people trying to defend somebody while you at the hot bar trying to get your food, okay? So Giselle, she put in that work, girl. She put in that work. So she feels like she's being unappreciative. That Candace being unappreciative towards Giselle putting in that effort to defend her. Like, girl. So, you know that it's impressive that Giselle even took a stance to at least defend Candace, even though that they're not really feeling each other. And the next these girls, they go at it. And it's like, and Candace, all of a sudden, she lists her degrees in journalism. But Portia, her response was hilarious. She says she stands on the jobs she had in journalizing, the act of journalism. Okay, she's in the field, in the trenches, doing journalism. Okay. So, and Portia, she likes to say that a lot. She's been saying that even to Kenya, that one reunion once upon a time ago. So I'm like, what is the point of this? Like, Candace, what was the point of you saying this to Portia? Where were you trying to get at? And the girls are just looking at the girls go at it, and I'm like, is this what we're gonna do now? So it's game time, and it's time for fun, and I'm like, yes, please, let's have fun. And the girls are divided up by their city. So the Miami girls, you have Alexia and Marisol. You have the Salt Lake City girls, which is the Crazy Cousins. And then you have the Potomac girls, which is Giselle and Candace, who are not too excited to be collabing, but they're going to be collabing. And that leaves Leah and Portia to form a group, which Portia wants to call the group Poor Leah. And I'm like, dang, this shade, like, how to continue to make Leah feel down about it. Like, Leah is definitely an easy target, but she also make herself to be an easy target. I'm like, girl, stand tall, stand big. Don't let these girls walk all over you, Come on, please. So the first game is elephant volleyball. So in this game, team Poor Leah, I like it, Poor Leah and Salt Lake City, they win. And in the next game, they play Tiny Hands, which is an eating challenge where you have to use the tiny hands as hands to eat the food. And Team Miami and Team Potomac wins. But the real tea is when we get to game 3. And it's pretty much to tell the truth or eat a scorpion. And so Portia, she's loving this too much. And I'm like, are you really going to have these girls eat a scorpion? Like, who's going to do that? So the questions she asks are burning questions. So Alexia's question is to rank your ex and current husband and who is best in bed to worst. So I thought this was easy. This is light work. Alexia, you know how to answer this. She says Tor, her dad, her baby father, and Herman. Okay, that was easy. I don't think that was too hard. And plus, Alexia was not gonna eat a scorpion. She's Alexia's not a girl to back away from a question. Alexia, if you give her a room to talk, she will talk. Okay, that's our star. So Candace, her question is marry, kill, or bang Monique Samuels. And Candace's response is so clever. It's bang to death Monique Samuels. And I thought that was really cute. Okay, moving forward, we have Giselle. And Giselle's question is who would make the least on OF? You know that site, guys. I can't say that here on YouTube. And she says Marisol, because she wouldn't understand it. And I'm like, no. And Marisol, she gives us a little moment in her confessional. She models her foot. And I'm like, oh, she doesn't know what to do with it. That was like an homage and nod to our girl Larsa. Okay, so Leah's question is which cast from the season 13 New York should not come back for the Legacy spinoff? Leah, she says she doesn't want to answer the question and she eats the bug. And that was her moment. I feel like if you have to have a moment, this is your moment. Have it. Next, we have Whitney. And Whitney has to name 3 times Heather lied on camera. And I'm like, ooh, this is tea. Okay. So Heather, she's like, okay, I want to hear it. Go ahead. But Whitney decides to eat the bug. And this is her showing her friend, her cousin, that she's loyal, that there's loyalty. But Heather, she would have preferred, and she was asking her to answer the question because she feels like she couldn't do it in the first place, that you cannot name one lie. Like, this does not help the situation with the cousins, guys. So next, Heather, her question is, who gave you that black eye? And Heather, she eats the scorpion. I feel like, okay, not everyone's going to eat the scorpion. This is not as interesting. And y'all, the girls think it's Jen. I believe it's Jen too. It's more interesting to go with Jen Shaw being the one to give Heather a black eye. So Marisol, her question is very, very, very good. I like it because it's a nod to Marisol's game. And her question is, in this group, who do you trust the least? And she, without a doubt, says it's Leah. Duh. And it's an easy answer for her. Because remember, Marisol didn't like the alcohol comment that Leah made towards her. So, Marisol is not feeling Leah. Okay? So, the girls, they clean up. Marisol is annoyed with Pepsi. We didn't get much of Pepsi this episode, but Marisol is annoyed with Pepsi because the room is a mess and she feels like it should be clean after they return from their game. And you see some tension with her and Alexia because Alexia is like, oh, that's not Pepsi's job. His job is not to clean up after us. His job is to host us. But Marisol is like, oh, well, Pepsi has a team of people that works for him, so he should be on it, but he's kikiing with us. And you see those two girls, they like annoyed with each other. This is day 4, y'all. This is day 4, and they feel like this is too much time. They need their space. And I wonder if we're going to get a little tiff between those two. But we're here to watch that. We'll keep an eye on that. Let's put that to a simmer. So, guys, it's a Mardi Gras dinner, and it's hosted by no other but Giselle Bryant. Okay, so in the car ride to the dinner with Portia, Giselle, and Alexia and Marisol, Giselle tells the girls what Candace said about her. And her reason why people... Okay. So Giselle tells the girls what Candace said about Giselle, and which was a big statement and a damaging statement. Pretty much Candace said that Giselle is the reason why people don't come forward about SA. Y'all know the code. We on YouTube. It's called SA. I wish I could tell you because I feel like it's a topic that should be discussed, but it's called SA here on YouTube. So the girls are shocked when they hear this because they feel like, oh, that's such a damaging statement. They feel like that was wrong of Candace. And oh my God, this does not help because these girls do not like Candace. Candace does not like Giselle. So the girls, they arrive to dinner, and Giselle opens up about her family history and the significance of the beads and mask and how blacks were not allowed to partake in Mardi Gras events. So the girls are here to enjoy Mardi Gras, and Giselle is here to get the girls together. So the girls are eating and having a great time. But I there was a moment I didn't find cute of Candace, and that moment was when she burped at the table where the ladies were eating at. I thought that was not cute. I hate that. That would be an ick for me. If me and Candace were friends, that would be an ick. I see friends, don't do that. I do not want to hear, even smell the breath, hear the burp. Nah, that's an ick. And, Marisol and Alexia did not like it at all either. That was like a no for them. It was a no for me too. It was like not cute at all. So it starts raining, and the girls continue with the fun anyways. And they do a second line to this beautiful room that is giving New Orleans. Giselle, she really did that. She gave the vibe. She gave the ambiance. I really enjoyed it. So it can't be a Giselle event without a shady moment, right? Right? Can we? Is that possible? So, guys, we are getting in this episode the reasonably shady performance in Thailand. Okay, we getting the show. So it's gonna be a moment where we're gonna get into more tea as per usual with Giselle. So first, Giselle asked, is it reasonable or is it shady to be extremely sick and still be around the group? And the girls answer and vote reasonable. And this is a nod to Marisol. And Marisol, she says she rallied, she got it together. Even though she was going through it, she was not going to be a party pooper, okay? The next question is it reasonable or is it shady to take credit of other franchises' success, especially when your show was canceled? And Alexia knew that was shade to her, and that was shady. And, Alexia says, because she wants to clarify some things. Alexia says pave is not in her vocabulary, but she does raise a point that Miami franchise was bringing something different to the table that the other franchises were not doing, which is, for example, having transgendered and other people in the community, Spanish speakers, in a show like the Real Housewives franchise. Next, Giselle asks, is it reasonable or is it shady to call someone a bully when they are not being one? And it is split, y'all, versus reasonable versus shady. And this is, of course, homage to Candace. And Candace, she stands on it. She said, yeah, you guys are a bully. And she points out the way that the girls, Portia, Giselle, all of them came for Leah. And she says that if the word is triggering, then it must hold true for you because you are hollering pretty much. And I didn't like this from Candace because let's not pretend that Leah is a victim, okay? I feel like Leah just doesn't bond well with this group. And that's okay because you don't have to be accepted in every group. But I, like Portia brought up, she does feel that if Candace was getting along with the other girls and was able to gel well with the other girls, she would not stick up for Leah as she's sticking up for her in this moment. Next, the question is it reasonable or is it shady to show that bunda when it's bigger than everyone else? If y'all don't know what bunda is, y'all look it up. And Portia finds it reasonable because that's shade towards Portia and her big old booty. That's the bunda, y'all. If you didn't know, now you know. So the final and actually no, that's not the last question. There's more questions, y'all. So is it reasonable or is it shady to give a book a title that you don't believe in? And the girls, they vote shady. And I thought this was a great moment actually to promote the book. I said, Heather, this is your moment. Have it. Eat it. Enjoy it. Profit. Monetize it. So, Whitney asked, where is Heather at leaving the church? And she thought this was going to be a ball drop, like something that's going to pop off. But Alexia, she actually makes a good point. Alexia, she says that you can leave a marriage a long time ago and not sign the papers. I thought that was a good analogy. There you go, Alexia. There you go. So it made me think about it too. I feel like, Whitney, you care about this a little too much. And I'm not understanding why. Because I feel like people don't have to be or take the same journey as you did in Mormonism, okay? Let everyone, take things at their pace. If that's unacceptable for you, you don't have to, be around them. You could pull yourself away from the situation, okay? If that's unacceptable for you. So, now, when it comes to the battle between Whitney and Heather, I'm looking at Whitney sideways. It's giving me sideways. So the last question is it reasonable or is it shady to play reasonable or shady? And it's always going to be shady when it comes to Giselle, y'all. That's just going to be the optics. That's what's going to give. That's just going to be the scenario. So on the bus ride home, the cousins, of course, the cousins are fighting, but they still want to table it and they ride on the bus together. And Portia, Giselle, Alexia, Marisol, they don't get it. They do not understand how the cousins can table it and just continue to be in a car ride together. They feel like it's fake. Fake the house down boots, okay? So it's always hilarious to me at the end of each episode because this hill will be the demise of this crew. If they don't take each other out, the hill will definitely take them out. And it's so hilarious to see them coming up the hill, and I like that as a running theme and a great way to end the episode. So I thought, okay, end of the episode. Let's look forward to the next episode. But no. We get a surprise confessional from Miss Whitney. Not Miss Whitney Houston, but from Miss Whitney. Salt Lake City girl. So she tells us she knows the 3 lies that Heather has told. The 3 lies is that she knows how she got her black eye. She was never friends with Lisa Barlow. And I wonder what's the significance of why does Lisa Barlow matter? And 3rd, she never left the Mormon church. Ooh. So that let us know Whitney want all the smoke. But girl, do you want the fire? So stay tuned for next week's recap of the Real Housewives girls trip in Thailand. Because I'm excited. I want to see what else these episodes are about to give. Because I know that we have so many scenarios that we're waiting to pop off. We have our ticking time bombs in all these situations. So if you guys like the episode, like the recap, do not forget to share and subscribe. I appreciate every one of you. And I'm so grateful that you guys took the time to listen to this recap. Take care and do not forget, spread as much kindness as possible. And tomorrow is Friday. If you're listening to this on Friday, we made it. We're here. We outside. Be safe, guys. Bye.